What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcast for the next episode of Dead State. My name is Splattercat, and I'm happy to have you here today as we check things out and try to make sure that the noisy mausoleum gets a lot quieter. Now, this map is pretty buggy, and in fact, it deleted my save. I looked on the forums, and there's a number of problems with this map in particular. It seems to make everybody just not happy. And so essentially let me move him to right there, since obviously I need to finish this guy off. Oh, I can't stand right there? Okay. Well, oh, there's somebody in the doorway, that's why. Okay. Well, then Grant should be able to handle it, right? Grant, you want to smack a zombie? There you go, buddy. Anyways, the Noisy Mausoleum seems to be a map that's, like, really, really buggy from what I can tell. It deleted my save and then, like, moved it to a different directory and, like, a bunch of other stuff. Basically, I came back into the game and it looked like a fresh install. There was no save, there was no anything. Basically, things are seeing us through the floor, too. I think it might have been from me kicking the door, but I don't know. I got into a grumpy mood in the previous episode. Sorry about that, it happens to the best of us. Occasionally something just rubs me the wrong way, and this map has definitely been a little bit odd. I'm going to try and loot as much as I can out of this place before we go. Today I'm not going to have time to do like a full batch recording, so it's going to be a little bit off for me, I think. Okay, let's go ahead and... Open! Sesame! That dead guy doesn't have anything good, so we will not focus ourselves upon him. Oh, there's a zombie behind us. No, please don't bite me through my super awesome helmet. There, you can slap me though. I give you the permission to slap me in a limp-wristed fashion. However, this map tends to bug out and like leave things in combat because it counts the lower space as like part of the upper space. Like, basically a whole lot of weird stuff is going to happen on this map and you just have to like accept it. I think this map probably represents the fact that the developers were trying to do something like experimental with the game. And ultimately, I don't think it turned out quite right. It's odd. Like, I think what they should have done is they probably should have tried to do it. I don't know if it's Unity that caused this problem or what. But what I will say is that something definitely ain't right with this map. Kill that off right there. Okay, they're down. Am I full up right now? Let me take a look at everybody here. So we got full up right there. We got full up right there. Pretty much everybody is full from what I can tell. So, Vic, you're still riding though. Vic is still riding. Alright, so since he's only got 73 pounds, let's see if we can clear out the remainder of this place. But yeah, I think there's a couple of issues that arise from the fact that it might be Unity's fault. I'm not sure whose fault it is. But basically the map counts the up floor and the bottom floor as like the same area, sort of. I don't know how to describe it, really. It's weird. So sometimes they'll see you through the floor, like random things will happen. This map was definitely a bad idea, though. It'll lag because... What I probably would have recommended they had done was probably do it sort of how Baldur's Gate used to do it, where it would just load you into a blank map with just the top floor on it. That's more than likely what I would have leaned towards. Wow, there are a lot of Zeds around here. Vic got hit for 13 damage. Okay. He's gonna swear about it. It's okay, he'll swear. If there's one thing I know about the universe, it's that swearing about pain makes it all better. Alright, so we'll maybe step him back over to here or something? I don't know. I don't know if somebody can set up right there, like, horizontally. We're going to give it a go, just to see what we can accomplish here. There we go, another Zed down. I'm going to stay out of combat for as long as possible. That one's going to have a bullet vest, and he's going to have some bullets and some combat boots. We definitely haven't hit everything on this floor, and I'm going to have trouble, like, keeping track of everything, too. We're going to have to bash the hell out of that next area right there, but I'm thinking what we might want to do at this point... Essentially, this map is, like, laggy. You can see, like, the frame rate is just terrible because it keeps, like, loading in and loading out assets or something. I don't know. I get the feeling that this was a map where they were playing around with Unity, and then they just decided to leave it into the... Like, they were messing around with Unity when they made this map and trying to see what it could accomplish would be my guess. And then they just decided to leave it in the game. I actually probably would have omitted this map if it was my game, personally, just because there's enough weird problems here. Like, your frame rate habitually drops down to, like... 20 frames in here because it reloads and unloads the top and bottom floor. The game seems to be confused about what perspective you're in, and when multiple characters are on multiple floors, it seems to just like lose track of the plot. It's a little bit weird. I probably would have left this one out just because, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it's working right, I guess would be the way that I would put it. Like, it kind of works, but definitely some things are wonky with this map. I figure we'll probably get up out of here. It looks like, actually, Grant did a great job with this. This was a location that had a lot of stuff in it. In fact, it still remains having a lot of stuff, but we're going to have to hit it with multiple runs, I think, before we can go anywhere else. So I think what we might consider while we're out here is maybe just going back and dropping all this stuff off. I know everybody's not completely and totally full right now, but that's going to be the goal for the day. Honestly, I just don't want to play this map anymore because it's so laggy and weird, and so many bugs have arisen from this map that I feel nervous about it now. Basically, once a map deletes your save and like moves it to another location without telling you, you start to get a little bit nervous. And I looked it up. It happened to 2 or 3 other people too, but only with the noisy mausoleum. When they went here, it said that they deleted their saves, or it said that the game deleted its saves and moves them to a different directory when you save inside noisy mausoleum. And then if you save anywhere else, I assume it's probably going to do the same thing, and I'm going to have to migrate it back, but I don't know. I have no clue right now. This is all very, very weird, and not stuff that I'm totally accustomed to dealing with in the middle of a playthrough. We should have time to hit that another time. I think that we should have a really, really good day today. I think we should be able to bring back a lot of stuff. I'm going to clear the location out now, I guess, so that I don't have to deal with it in the future. Oh, we got luxurious. That's cool. I like achievements. Achievements make me happy. Let's unload the remainder of the goodies over here. And once we get those all sorted and put where they need to go, we'll go back on out and we'll hit it again, because all we really have left to do over here is loot the hell out of it. It looks like there's a couple more zombies left, and yeah, there is the chance that you'll get overwhelmed while you're out there. But honestly, it doesn't seem too bad. So let's go ahead and we'll just drop off all of this stuff over here. Elaine, are you carrying? You are indeed carrying all kinds of stuff with you. Got lots of extra combat boots just in case that ever becomes useful. Got Vic Castillo up in here. We'll move that over to there. And then our final guy is Paul. And I always have trouble finding him. There he is. Paul looks like he actually was carrying specifically only a whole bunch of luxuries with him. So let's get back out there. It's time to hit up the noisy mausoleum one more time. We will bear the brunt of its buggy nastiness on our way in, and then we'll just figure it out. Basically, I just want to get the location out of the way right now so that I can save my game after this and not have to worry about it. It's very, very concerning when you come back into a game when you're on episode 30-something and your save is gone. I may have peed a little. It was terrifying. My manliness left me. There was no manliness left. I made like a noise just like... It was bad. It was really, really bad. And then I looked it up and other people had this problem. They said that they saved their game in the noisy mausoleum, and what happened is that it changes the save directory for some reason when you save your game in the noisy mausoleum, and then it deletes the entire save game folder from the other folder, which is all kinds of weird. Like, there's a lot of weirdness right there. I don't know. The developers have been aware of it since like December 10th, but it's still in the game apparently. I don't know. I'm sure they have bigger fish to fry, to be honest. It seems like their game release has been somewhat marred by random problems. It's a crossbow bolt right there. Did I even loot all these deaders down in here? I don't even know if I got them all. Hold on, go up the stairs. Most of the problems seem to be with just like loading assets on the top floor, all kinds of weirdness occurring. I would have kept it to single-story complexes, and then I would have just instanced it like Baldur's Gate used to do, or it would just load you into a separate map so that things like this wouldn't happen. Especially considering, does it have to do with my camera depth? No, it doesn't have to do with my camera depth. See, like right now, it won't let me like go over to here. Hold on. There we go. Load the top floor. I believe in you right now. Oh my god. Okay, so there we go. Now we're loaded. This is something right here. It's definitely throwing me off. It's a lot. Throwing me off like a horse that don't love me. Let's see here. I prefer that a horse would love me, to be honest. If I had a pet horse, I'd be pretty happy about it. I don't think I would ride him, though. Or her. Friends don't ride friends. Unless you have that kind of, like, open friendship, like friends with benefits type relationship. Either way, though, I feel like the horse would read into it the wrong way, and eventually I would pay for it somehow, considering it weighs more than me and is bigger than me. Has bigger teeth than me. Generally has a worse temper than me. How many runs is this going to take, I wonder? I'm going to try and clear the top floor right now so that we don't have to come back here. So at least we can loot the bottom floor, not have to worry about the top. Alright, so let's bash this door, I guess. This is probably going to get real noisy real quick. All I can really do is hope that the Zeds don't come and investigate. I can leave this to fall off for a second. I think we got most of them, though. I'm going to let it fall off for a second. I'm going to check this location. Make sure that I got everything from here. Okay, it looks like I got everything from this building. It's been a day or two since I recorded last, so bear with me as I get these little random orienteering feats done. There we go. And if we can finish the top floor, at least I feel like that would solve the problem at least slightly. Grab a few things over here. Coffee machine. Okay. Fridge is hopefully all loaded up. We got some ketchup. Does that count as food? Or what does that count as? A commodity or food? It's food for allies, so ketchup counts as food, I guess. What are we going to do when looting is no longer possible? You'd think that we have to set up some kind of like subsistence farming in order for this to work. How many people do we have in our group that know how to farm, though, would be the first problem. This would be one of those situations where having a farmer around would be an absolutely useful thing. Although most farmers that I've ever met are pretty much handymen as well on the side. Like, they pretty much know how to fix everything, because farming is kind of like a real low margin job. You don't make a whole lot of money off of it. Not a whole lot of profit to be made in farming. And so they tend to fix things themselves to make sure that, you know, they don't have to pay a whole bunch of extra cash at the end of the day. Not a whole lot of farmers left around, though, nowadays. Not a whole lot of farmers left. I don't know what the hell happened in this place, but they're all zombies. And this is no bueno for us. So anyways, let's go down to the first floor, and hopefully our problems are solved from here on out. I can't promise that they will be. God, how am I even going to do this? Let me see if I can maybe thwack the door a few times right here. Oh, there are still Zeds on this floor. Oh god, there are a bunch of Zeds. Okay, so this might get a little ugly. They're pretty good at biting too. These Zeds seem to have a they seem to be a bit more proficient at biting than a lot of their compatriots. Why would you do that instead of going to here and stepping to there? Oh my god. Come on now. This guy, we're going to give him the special badge if he keeps this up. He's going to get himself a special ornament to let everybody know that he just can't be trusted to do things right. I'll step over to here. I figure it's probably better to have the entire fight oriented around us rather than anywhere else. He should have had enough to attack right there, but it wasn't flagging. I don't know. We'll try it again on the next turn. It'll be alright. They're just Zeds. I don't worry about zombies in this game. They're kind of like one of those half-assed enemies. They're a big problem in the early game, but later on you're just like, whatever. Either way, I'm going to clear out the front floor. I'm going to try and make as much noise as possible while we're down here to see if maybe we can finish off the first little grouping so that I don't have to clear this out house by house. Obviously, there are locked doors, though, so that's going to become an issue along the way. I love this riot baton, by the way. This riot baton is the stuff. Flatten you. Step to there. Big old swing and a miss. Probably come up in here and help then. Ooh, one-shot at her. A vicious attack for 80 damage. Alright, I don't mind. Make your attacks as vicious as you require. Have we ever fought on a mattress before? I guess this takes the phrase taking it to the mattresses to a whole new level. Taking it to the mattresses is an old mob phrase, by the way, if you aren't familiar. Taking it to the mattress is an old mob phrase wherein they were denoting that they were going to be sleeping at safe houses on like mattresses on floors because there was going to be a war between the different families. I don't know if this is a smart idea. I think I may have done something dumb over here. Either way, I need to sit down and heal people. We're looking a little scratched up at the moment. Looking a little banged up. I'm going to swing back out, I guess, wide. We'll surround this zombie and let him have it. Let her have it. Yeah, these ones appear to be a lot better at the whole, like, biting and destroying thing than a lot of the others. Get off my man. He's my man. She's gone. You don't have to grunt all melodramatically anymore. She's gone. It's fine. You have been saved. Be happy. But still. No need to be melodramatic. Or, you know, unmelodramatic. Depends how mellow you want to be, I guess. Or not to be confused with Mallowdramatic, which is actually really serious because that means that somebody's getting really up in arms about their marshmallows. I can understand that emotion entirely. I enjoy marshmallows. Marshmallows are a great thing. In fact, one of my favorite things in the whole world is chocolate-covered marshmallows. Like, a lot of people don't like those, but I do. I love them. Alright. So we got that handled. Let's step back for a second. Oh, we got a couple more coming in, too. Alright, that's fine. Step off to this side real quick, and we'll see if they don't notice us. See, even the zombies seem to be kind of confused about where the noise is coming from, maybe? Either way, there are more zombies here than I have ever seen on a map, which is probably the other half of the problem with the lag. Let me see if I can get rid of this one with a nice hefty clunk. Okay, so that one's down. Let me see if I can get this guy over here. I make practice by going around and bashing all the doors, actually, just to see if it's conceivable. Okay. Vic's errant accuracy issues appear to have struck us again. It's okay, though. The boss man's here to show you how it's done. Oh, there's multiple Zeds right here. Okay, well, we need to back up then because this one's going to bug out. Oh, we've got that disembodied issue again where that Zed is actually, like, over here somewhere. Yeah. This zombie is actually technically over here. How we fix this, I think, is that we just gotta, like, wait through a turn. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them stacked up, too. Okay. This zombie will bug out, come all the way back here, and then actually fix itself. Lots of weird problems with this game so far. Lots of weird problems. And what's strange is none of these came up in the early game. They're only in the late game. And so, yeah, there's the free attack right there, because technically the zombie counts as being right here. We'll take that one out. Oh, I got him with the knockback. Okay. Not really pleased about the knockbacks. Knockbacks are kind of troublesome, to be honest. Over here, we should have enough with 2 swings to get that one taken care of. We'll try and figure out where the other Zeds are. Ooh, we got antibiotics. Hell yeah. I like antibiotics. Antibiotics are always helpful. There's never been a time in this game that I don't like antibiotics, especially considering we have characters whose lifeline is largely dictated by like how many antibiotics we have. Basically 1 antibiotic per day. So if we have 60, you get to live 60 more days. Sounds kind of worrisome when you put it to that vote. Let's see if we can get this zombie too. This one's apparently out here somewhere. I might be able to do some weird ninjutsu right here to make that work. Now, do we loot over here? Because it's still disembodied, right? It's weird. It's like an inconsistency between like the graphical representation and what's actually there. I mean, it's easy enough to fix. It's just like a mild irritation, I guess. Couple doors. That one's locked. I'm gonna keep trying to get into these doors while we wait. We do run the risk of like spawning more zombies if we keep making a racket. There we go. We made a friend. He's over there. It's okay. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen this many zombies on a map. My god. It's gonna take us like an entire, like, 2 episodes just to clear this place out. There's so many of them. They're just everywhere. I have a hard time believing this many people lived in an apartment complex this small. Some of these may be respawning as well. I don't know. I'm gonna line everybody up over here and see if maybe I can get a heal off on this turn because he really, really needs it. There we go, Grant. Now you're looking better. You were looking good before. Don't get me wrong. I'll be a nice guy. I'll give you the compliment. You were looking good before, but now you're actually looking physically, like, good. Instead of looking like you're about to fall over and die at any second. It actually looks like they're all about to go and investigate the sound over by the door instead of... I thought they... The reason it kept us in combat is because I thought they all saw us already. Go ahead and get the ex-coyote. Get a couple swacks in right here. There we go. She's doing pretty well with her guys. I'll step her around the corner just in case. Bring him over to finish off this zombie. Maybe. Troublesome. Troublesome indeed. Swap positions. Let him have it. That zombie's going to come over here and hopefully Elaine can handle that by herself. It's only 1 zombie, so I'm assuming she'll be okay. But you know what they say about assuming. You make an ass out of sumes. Oh, she one-shotted him. There you go. Problem solved. Let's continue looting, shall we? Whole bunch of parts found right there, which is a really, really good thing for us because I never have enough parts. Like, ever. Alright, let's dig into these buildings now. I think we're finally done here to where we can actually start going through these houses and see if we can find anything useful. Got a potato right there. Surprisingly enough, it hasn't grown any eyes on it yet. My potato grows eyes, it makes me go, eee. No, I eat a lot of potatoes. At least I used to when I was in college, because you can get like a bag of russet potatoes at Costco for like nothing. And so I used to have baked potatoes like every day. Basically, all I would have is I had a big thing of sea salt. I had a big thing of shredded like cheap-ass Mexican cheese blend. And so it was like Monterey Jack mix, basically. And then I would just buy a ton of potatoes. And then I would just bake one every night. And that's what I would eat for dinner. Wouldn't have breakfast or lunch, because college you're broke. College is pretty bad. It's weird how in debt you are afterwards, too, considering you basically starved for like 4 years. It's very, very odd. You'd be like, for how in debt I am right now, I really feel like I should have been eating well those 4 years. Not the case. Not the case. Weirdly enough, though, I only ate once a day, but I gained like 80 pounds in college. It was a strange experience. Stress eating's a real thing. You start like just eating anything in your house. You'd be like sitting there eating just like shredded coconut out of a bag because it's the only thing that you could find and you're stressed. Oh god, I'm so glad that I'm done. I'm so glad that I'm done. College was the worst thing ever. Like seriously, it almost killed me. It almost killed me. I think it depends what major you're into, whether you're in like a science heavy major. If you're in like a major where it's kind of just like meh. You know, for example, I always felt like that's how sociology was at our school. Like I took 400 level sociology classes for fun. in between because I thought they were entertaining. But some people would be like, this is the hardest test I've ever taken in my life. And I'd be like, I had sophomore level classes that were harder than that test. That test was like, I didn't even need to study for. It was just a gimme for me. I don't know. Then again, different strokes for different folks, I guess. But I don't know. Some of my, I think, like I had trouble with physics because I had a bad physics teacher. Physics, I didn't have to retake it though. I had a couple friends that had to take physics a bunch of times before they finally actually like got it and it like stuck. Let's take Vic here. We'll see if we can loot out the rest of this building. We might be able to do a third run if we can really, really hustle. Oh, Vic's full up too already? Damn. Okay, so if Vic's already full up, that leaves us with Grant maybe? And even Grant's almost full up. Considering I'm bringing everything back with me now because it's like helpful. And we can break it down for parts. I think that's really what's sort of like bogging us down at the moment. In the tool chest, a whole bunch of stuff which we can break down. We probably got, yeah, that's going to be over here. I'll just bring the normal supplies. We'll get the cement mix later when we come back. Cement mix is always a problem. Cement mix is always a problem. We got replacement boards over here. Okay, 4 more parts. I love parts. They allow me to keep construction running back at base. I'll take that right there, but I don't want the rest. Let's jump into this toolbox real fast because it looks incredibly comfortable. A bunch of chemicals. So I got to remember the concrete bag in there. Remind me in the comments if I forget. I read my comments every day. I know a lot of people say I don't read my comments because I don't respond to them anymore a lot of the time. And that's actually just kind of like a time crunch at this point. Ever since I went up to like 5 episodes a day that I'm producing, it's just like, basically I live, eat, breathe, and sleep LPing right now. And that's okay. I prefer it. And I've chosen to live that way. But it does mean that some of the community aspects that I enjoy don't get taken care of. But I do read all your comments still. Seriously, every day on my new videos, I read my comments. So I do see them, but if I don't respond, I try. Every day I try and answer at least 10 or 15 comments just because I like doing it and I feel like it's a good thing to do to keep in touch with all of you. But at the same time, that's just like my work list is so large. Hey. Who's missing? The boss man. We need him. He's important. The boss man needs to come with us. If he doesn't, it makes this whole thing sort of weird and awkward because you guys are leaderless and I don't trust you for a second leaderless. Alright, so we made it back over here by 122. We'll chart how long this takes for us to get here. From 122, it looks like, oh yeah, we got time to do another run. It'll be fine. We'll do a third run. This is going to be one of those days where we get like 5 trillion morale and then everything just looks good forever. 85 more food. We got 73 more luxuries. Yeah, we're about to clean up on morale today. So let's make one more run. We finally got all the zombies out of the way. I think there's still a couple over in the parking lot on the left-hand side. But this has turned into like a multi-episode endeavor for us. Like, really, this has turned into like a thing that we just have to like strive to complete. And now I'm kind of like dug in with it and I kind of want to. Go over here. I need to refill Elaine's bag. She's actually... Let's see here. I need... Where's the codeine at? Give me the medical supplies. Let's go ahead and refill her real quick. There we go. And so we'll use the band-aids on it since... I don't know. It seems like a good... We got a lot of codeine. Like, seriously, you could fuel a powerful addiction up in this place. You better hope nobody gets addicted and starts swiping off the top. Better start making checklists and stuff like they have at the hospital. I only know that because a member of my family works in the medical field. And... apparently there are lots of checklists. It says, in fact, she said the other day they had to fire one of the nurses because the nurse was skimming codeine or skimming something off one of the medicine things. She was giving sugar pills to one of her patients at the hospital and then was pocketing the rest and then selling it. I'm like, I know you get paid well enough as a nurse. Come on now. Like, you don't gotta steal from a sick person. There are lines here that we need to be drawing. I mean, don't steal from healthy people either. It's a pretty good, you know, practice, not stealing in general. But anyways... stealing from somebody that needs those meds to get through their day, it's pretty dark right there. You're going to some pretty dark places. You sure you want to cross that threshold? Then again, people are addicted or people want to make money. It never surprises me. But yeah, apparently that's a big problem at hospitals. They have to keep checklists and everything. That's how they caught her. She forgot to fill out the checklist one day. That's how they caught her. All kinds of nastiness. All kinds of nastiness. I'd be pretty upset. I'll be pretty upset if my family member wasn't getting the meds they need. Sitting there suffering all day long because they aren't getting their painkillers after a big surgery or something. You're like, damn. I think we got most of this stuff. The cement mix I haven't actually had a big opportunity to use yet. It's crazy the things you read about happening though. Like, people never cease to amaze me. Both with the good and evil things that they do. It's kind of funny because right after that you go to uplifting news on Reddit or something like that and you read that. and like the kind things that people do more than make up for the horrible things people do. But for some reason, it's the horrible things that just stick with you. I figure it's got to be evolutionary. Like the way you survive is by memorizing threats and things like that, like memorizing the bad things that happen so that they never happen again. The good things aren't like a tangible threat and they don't kill you, so you don't worry about them after they happen, so you tend to forget about them quicker or something. There we go. Get some more luxuries up in here. We should be able to finish off this building right here on this run, although I can't promise it. Okay, we got some paints and something. What was that right there? That box. I didn't recognize that. What is that? Asthma medication? Oh, wow. Huh. I wonder if that's for a quest later on. It has no description, so my guess is that it's a special. That room's locked. Get the door open real fast. There we go. Hopefully there's nobody locked up in here. Get us in trouble. We can't carry a 3-pound pillow, huh? That's a pretty big pillow. That's a big old pillow. Let's go ahead and grab the rest, I guess, with Vic. The best idea here would be to unequip all of my guys so that they could carry more stuff with them, but I don't necessarily trust that like a bunch of coyotes aren't going to show up from a random event and kill us. The moment I do that, I know that I'm going to regret it. I know it. So I'm too paranoid. I travel strapped at all times, especially in a world that's falling apart like this. Just, don't take the chance. You want to be alive? Then don't take big chances like that. There's a dead looter over here. Looks like he got chewed up a little bit. Got himself a Glock. Firing off with a gun in this place was probably the worst idea ever. I can't imagine that that plan worked out very well for him. In fact, I know that plan didn't work out very well for him because he's dead on the floor right now. Obvious is obvious. Alright, so we'll grab that. God, so much looting to be done here. Somebody really, like, when they designed this place, they got it, like, way, way out of hand. They were like, I'm gonna put loot over here, and then loot over here, and loot over here. Mind you, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that, like, when somebody got up in here, there was all kinds of looting on their mind. They were like, this is gonna be like this is the piñata for everybody that wants to come up in here. What's in the, is that weed? A bag of medical marijuana. Alright, I was gonna say, that definitely looks like, got yourself, like, maybe like an 1/8 right there. It's a decent amount of weed. Either way. Throw that in. Probably a little more than an 1/8 to be honest. Depends how many sticks and shit are in there. I can't tell. Looks like it's just buds. But you know, it's video game weed. I can't look at it properly. To be honest, I don't actually smoke weed that much anymore. I used to be a giant pothead. I think everybody has that phase of their life where they just like smoke way too much weed all day, every day. I went through that phase. I had a rough breakup around that time, so I just like smoked weed like 24 hours a day, was just like high all the time. Like pretty much from the moment I used to wake and bake, and then I would go all day. It looks like there's a zombie in there, I think. Yeah, there's a Zed right there. Let's go handle this real fast. Oh, it got the first attack. I think we simultaneously clicked. I'm gonna be honest. I think I got him, but it's not gonna give me credit, so that's fine. Anyways, yeah, I had like a major like all day, every day, smoke weed every day type part of my life. And it's actually YouTube that cleaned that up, to be honest. Because I'm like a really, really unmotivated stoner. Like I don't do anything when I'm high, like seriously. Like I don't study, I don't do jack shit when I'm high, to be honest. I just like sit around, eat food, and just be domey all day. And so YouTube actually cleaned that out of my system. I don't care if anybody else does it. I actually am all for the legalization of weed, considering. In fact, I think my grandfather would have survived if he had smoked weed. He got a fairly serious bout of cancer, and I think he died because he got malnourished. He just got real thin and real sickly, like he wasn't even on like chemo or anything anymore. It was just like he got real thin and real sickly because he couldn't keep food in him. And when you're fighting a disease like that, you got to be strong, and it's a well-known fact that weed settles your stomach and allows you to keep things down if you're not feeling well. And we tried. My uncle made him weed brownies, but he was like old school from like the 30s and 40s or whatever. You know, that period where the paper industry was totally worried about the hemp industry, and so there's lots of propaganda around like, if you smoke weed once, you will murder your family. And that old propaganda sticks deep in some people, especially if you grew up around it, and so he flat out refused. But to this day, I think he probably would have done a lot better if he had, within reason, just had like a weed brownie before dinner so that he could like keep the food down and didn't throw it back up, because that was the big problem when he had cancer, is that he just couldn't keep anything down, and eventually your body just gets tired and weak and it can't handle it anymore. I firmly believe, though, in certain circumstances, absolutely it has medical uses for people. Especially with cancer. Especially with cancer. Like, I'm not going to be one of those people that's like, it fixes everything, but it's pretty well-known fact. It settles your stomach and allows you to keep food down. You get the munchies you want to eat. Makes your stomach nice and calm. Anyways, I think we're going to get everything out of here now that we've had our drug talk of the day. I forgot how long this episode's been running along. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcastle for the next episode of Dead State. I'm going to go ahead and try and loot the remainder of this place out. In fact, I might be able to do it while we're doing our outro right here. But if I can get everything out of this place so that we don't have to come back, I would really, really, really sincerely prefer it, because this place is a death trap. I mean, all it takes is for like one thing to go wrong here and we're toast. We are dead as dirt, and dirt is pretty dead as far as I understand. So anyways, I will see you all later. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do. We'll probably be at the shelter in the next episode.